Our first guest today is Sacramento Mayor Darrell Steinberg, joining us now via the phone. Mr. Mayor, we were just talking off air a little bit. Have you ever had to deal with anything remotely close to what you're dealing with right now?
Good morning, Walt. No, the answer is no. You know, in the midst of a really difficult time, you have to have a little bit of levity. And I commented to somebody last week, whatever happened to the good old days of the state budget crisis?
Yeah.
Because that might be my best frame of reference. And that was a terrible period of time. But it seemed like we had a little more control over the outcome. Here, with the coronavirus, it's not just a city or state issue, obviously, it's a national and international issue, but the leadership lessons I learned back then are certainly serving me well today to lead in a calm, steady way, to try to reassure people, but to make sure that people have access to all of the help that they need.
Are you finding, are you in good spirits about this? Are you optimistic? I think people are looking to leaders to be optimistic because there's so much confusion or lack of really getting, people are frustrated.
I am optimistic. I know, as the governor has said, that this is a moment in time and it will pass. The most important thing that we can do is to protect ourselves and protect each other. And that's why this very unorthodox and odd period that we are living through, where we are socially distancing, is an absolute must. Mm-hmm. And I think Sacramentans have responded very well. We haven't seen the kind of defiance like in Florida or in some parts of New York or even other parts of California. But we have to continue to remain vigilant.
Right.
If we do, it will last for less time, mm-hmm. and people's lives will be saved.
All right, let's get.
And at this.
Okay, we have we're getting a lot of questions here, so I think people are anxious to speak with you via text, so we'd like to get to that. A viewer is asking, I can't afford to pay my rent after being laid off due to this pandemic. Is anyone helping with this? What's the plan?
Yes, last Tuesday the City Council passed an emergency ordinance that says you cannot be evicted if you cannot pay your rent because you've been laid off due to the coronavirus. And tonight at the City Council, when we meet remotely, we will pass the same protection for commercial tenants. So yes, Sacramento is on the forefront here of protecting our renters, both on the residential and commercial side, because nobody should lose their apartment or their home because they've been laid off due to this extraordinary circumstance.
All right, our next question is from Christina. She says she needs help because she was laid off due to the coronavirus situation. What is the city doing to help for unemployed people?
Well, we are working very closely with our Central Labor Council, and I would urge you to go to the city website or the Sacramento Central Labor Council website. We are working with them. They have trained workers who are helping people navigate through the unemployment insurance process. Nobody should have to fill out any form alone or have to navigate any governmental bureaucracy alone. We have assistance. And if you go to the Sacramento Central Labor Council website and or the City of Sacramento website, we'll navigate you right there.
There are shelters in place. There are mandatory shelters in place. Now, you as the mayor of Sacramento, if you could speak to this broadly, people are driving all over the place in their cars, which is very difficult to enforce. What's the situation with people moving about?
Well, people can be in their cars if they are driving to and from work, if they have an essential function. They can drive to the grocery store, to the pharmacy, to an essential medical appointment. But people should not be out driving, certainly to other jurisdictions, and they shouldn't even be driving long distances in Sacramento for anything other than going to and from some place where they have to go.
Mm-hmm. Now,
okay,
go ahead.
But we are not going to enforce. Mm-hmm. The enforcement is will be only in the most blatant cases, because the intent of the stay-at-home order is not to create martial law. The governor said that. We're really relying on people's good faith and goodwill, and my expectation is that the vast majority of Sacramentans, in fact all Sacramentans, will follow the rules.
On top of that, where you have people who are traveling about quite a bit, and you've mentioned it's kind of an honor system, who are essential workers? I've seen the list, and there's a lot of people who are on the essential list, which means there's going to be a lot of people still going to their jobs and traveling about.
Well, that's true, but the combination of the state order and the county order, I think if people read those two orders, it's actually very clear. Obviously, law enforcement, first responders, healthcare workers, anyone involved in food and food delivery, construction is continuing. So there are a number of exceptions, and if you have any questions or any doubt, then you can call our office and we'll try to clarify. We're also encouraging as many employers as possible to encourage and mandate telecommuting. In the city of Sacramento, for example, among our city workforce, we've set up over 1,000 remote workstations for people at home, and did that in just a couple of days. And a lot of employers are doing that, and that's the right thing to do.
Yeah, that's certainly what we're seeing, and certainly what we're doing here at ABC 10. Our staff is going to be down to just bare essentials, with everybody else still contributing, but doing so from home. All right.